Hello, welcome back to the Arsenal Agenda. Today we are going to be discussing the opening of the 2023 Premier League season. Arsenal's opening game was against Nottingham Forest. We had a 2-1 nervy win at home. Some points from the game that we want to discuss today was Martinelli's fantastic form, Eddie, again, another goal, Saka with a worldie, and of course the nervous news about Jurrien Timber and his current injury from the game. But welcome, Jord. How are you today, and what were your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, I'm good. Cheers, mate. Thoughts on today's game? I thought it was dominant in the first half. I thought it was very dominant. I mean, Martinelli, I thought had an amazing first half.
Yeah. I mean, I touched on it a little bit. He was fantastic today. Whether that was going forward or tracking back, he seemed to cover every blade of grass up that side, didn't he?
Yeah. Also, I was a bit surprised with the formation at the start. Like, I don't think anyone knew. Like, is Thomas Partey playing right back? Is he playing like? Is it a 3-4-3 or like? I don't think we could work out what the formation was going to be. But it looked like Partey played sort of a Zinchenko type role on the right, didn't it? Like when we was off the ball, he was slotting into that right back spot, and then when we had it, he was back into the midfield.
Yeah,
But I thought,
we had a couple of conversations before the game where we were saying, surely that's free at the back. That can't be Thomas Partey at right back. But no, throughout the game he was there. He was positioned on that right hand side, and as soon as we generated the ball, he drifted inside and picked it up off the two centre backs. So it was an interesting tactic. Arteta's never tried that before. But obviously something he's working on in training, because when he doesn't have Zinchenko doing that job, he clearly wants someone doing something very, very similar to that, whether it be on the same side or the opposite. But yeah, no, it was an interesting lineup this morning. I don't think there was an Arsenal fan out there that could have called that squad today. But yeah, obviously fantastic result. But
back to what I was saying about the game. Yeah, I thought it was dominant first half. Second half, I suppose like the first half of the second half, I suppose we was quite well organised. But then once they got their goal, I mean, we just sort of fell apart a little bit, didn't we? We looked a bit disorganised, and they probably put it on us for the last 10 minutes. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean,
so I suppose that's a little bit of a worry. But then it is also the start of the season, so it's still getting a bit of fitness and whatnot, a bit of sharpness. But yeah, I suppose on another day, previous season, we might have come away with 2-2 there. So, it's 3 points and we'll move on. It's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, I felt in the second half we came out with the idea of keep possession as we did. I mean, I think it was 90-10 at one point throughout the game of possession stats. I mean, it was ridiculous the amount of the ball that we had.
It was like the first 20 minutes or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Ridiculous the amount of the ball we had. But in the second half, it was like we were trying to sort of kill them by keeping the ball. Whereas I'm hoping to see Arsenal be a little bit more aggressive this season. 2-0 up is good. 4-0 up is better. And I felt like we could have pushed for more goals. And I felt at times they looked like they were nervous about us. And we almost sort of took the game to such a pace that was comfortable for us, but we weren't probing, and then they built from that. And obviously one half chance or second half chance they had in the game, and ball goes in the back of the net, and all of a sudden the nervous knees from Arsenal start again, and it becomes a painful watch for the last 15-20 minutes of the game. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like you say, it's first game of the season. Let's not criticise too much, but that's certainly something I was hoping for Arsenal to have ironed out. With these new signings, confidence from last season performing so well, I'd like to see us finish those sorts of games. I mean, like you said, 2 seasons ago, we'd have probably lost that game today. But still, it's just about winning. It's not convincingly winning. So, but yeah, obviously, all in all, for 70 minutes of the game, I thought we were much, much, much the better team. We deserved the 3 points. But yeah.
100%. I'd have been gutted if we dropped points today. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it should have been more convincing. Like you say, we should have got more goals early on. It should have been like a 3-1, 4-1, shouldn't it?
I just felt like we got too comfortable. You know, we stopped
Yeah.
probing, and runs stopped happening, and then all of a sudden you got to try and turn that back on again when you concede one, and it becomes hard work. But yeah, moving on. Another point. Obviously, Eddie gets his goal today. It wasn't his best. It was, but it's a poacher's goal. Eddie is a poacher. He's a goal scorer,
That's it. He scores goals.
and I'm a fan of Eddie. Have been now for a couple of seasons. He, to me, you put him on the pitch. Eddie comes on the pitch. He scores goals. You give him games. He scores goals, and sometimes that's the hardest thing to do in this league. And he does it in the top league in the world, in my opinion. And he continues to perform. I'm a huge fan of Eddie. I hope we keep hold of him going forward. I think he's a great option to replace Gabriel Jesus, and arguably more prolific, although doesn't offer as much in the build-up. But today I thought he was great. I thought he had a fantastic game, all in all.
Yeah, again, I'm also a fan of Eddie. I think he's a better goal scorer than Jesus, to be honest with you. Jesus just is like you say, he's very good in the build-up play, and bringing other players into the game. But I think he is more of a poacher, more of a fox in the box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Eddie. Glad to see him get a goal. I mean, Saka's goal though, right?
Just about to bring
It's
that
got to be
up.
the goal of the
Saka's
day.
worldie. I've named it in my comments down here. But yeah, no, Saka's worldie. What a goal! Yeah, typical left foot outside the post on the postage stamp, straight in the top bins. Goalkeeper had no chance today. Yeah, I that's what you want to see from Saka. First game of the season, first goal, straight out, and he looked great again today. Looks ready to go for the season, fit as ever. Yeah, him and Martinelli are the thorn in a lot of teams and a lot of wing backs this season, because they are hard work to manage and to deal with, and just watching the work rate that they're offering up the wings at Arsenal, even in the first game of the season, it was fantastic to watch. And yeah, Saka deserved his goal today. Obviously, he is in my dream team, so very happy with that.
Not same as that. Not just that though. I mean, for a fullback in the league, like how bad is it as well? Like when those legs start getting tired with 20 minutes to go or something, then you got like Trossard coming on.
That Martinelli Trossard switch is killer. It's absolutely killer.
Like, who'd want to be a right back against Arsenal at
exactly.
the moment?
Like, you've just spent 70, 80 minutes chasing Martinelli around, who's like a little whippet, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, ball goes up, Trossard's coming on. Oh, for God's sake, give me a break, will you? But yeah, no, obviously it was a great performance from both wings today for Arsenal. I thought they were really good. Little bit about obviously their goal, big disappointment. It wasn't. Arsenal sort of seem to find a way of doing this, don't they? When we score, they are such frustrating goals. Ball straight over the top, bit of a couple of pace merchants running onto it, and Ben White looked like he was in a good position until he wasn't, and then beaten at the near post. And yeah, it was just a collection of defensive mistakes, simple stuff.
Typical Arsenal leak at the back, really, wasn't it?
It's devastating. I mean, as we said, we both put on our bets this morning. You said 3-1 because we're leaky. I was convinced with 3-0 because I thought we would be solid. Yeah, turns out we were both wrong with a number of goals, but you were right with the leaky at the back. I really thought that some of the changes this season, one of the things that Arteta will have absolutely hammered in that dressing room is about being far more solid. But unfortunately...
I think Timber's vital to that, and obviously us losing him early on in the second half did us no favours. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's the other side though. Timber ain't going to stop that. It's the other side. It's Ben White and Saliba that have been left there.
And obviously Gabriel was out as well, so he'd obviously picked up some sort of knock before the game.
Gabriel was subbed on. He was subbed on during the game, wasn't he? He was brought on.
Was he?
Yeah, in the second half
they,
he was brought.
They didn't bring him straight on for Timber though. They brought Tomiyasu on, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, they did. They swapped Martinelli late on when it started to get a bit shaky, and put
I must have missed
Gabriel
that one.
Maglanez back at centre back. So we had the typical four at the back, with Ben White on the right, Tommy Asu on the left, and Saliba and Gabriel making up the two centre backs. But yeah, talking about injuries, obviously Jurriën Timber lasted 50 minutes today. Took a knock in a challenge he made in the first half. Looked a bit innocuous, actually. Didn't look like much happened in the challenge, and unfortunately, sometimes they can be the worst ones when you walk away from it.
He didn't look comfortable when
No.
he was walking off, did he?
I mean, I've got, as regards to an update, I've got Arteta's comments following the game, but as we all know with Arteta, keeps his cards close to his chest. But what Arteta has said is the physio and doctors looked at him during the game and were happy for Jurriën to continue. Straight away in the second half, he made a movement. It felt funny, and we will now have to assess him. So no comments in regards to how bad or how minor this injury might be, but I'll be honest, it's not a good look watching a player walk off the pitch like that with clearly a niggle that is, sort of happening not every time you make a move with that particular part of your body. So yeah, peculiar injury for him. Hopefully it's nothing major. But yeah, looking at Jurriën Timber already at Arsenal, he really seems to have made. Well, I never thought he'd be a left back, anyways, but he really seems to have pushed himself into Arteta's mind and first 11. Obviously in the Community Shield started in the first game today. And again, looked fantastic up until he was off. But yeah, hopefully that is not an injury that's going to keep him out for too long, or one of them ones that keeps returning on him. I hope it's nothing major. But as and when we get an update from Arsenal and the team there, we'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, hopefully that isn't anything major, because he looks a key part of our interchanging back four, or three, dependent on who plays where and what. But yeah, that's pretty much all the notes I made on the game today. George, you got much else to add about the Nottingham Forest game?
No, not really. I'm just happy with the 3 points. It's like I say, it's start to the season, isn't it? It's one ticked off. So
exactly. And then obviously a little bit about the up and coming game. We got Crystal Palace away in 9 days on the 21st of August.
They won 1-0 today.
Yes,
they won 1-0 against Sheffield United.
That's right. So again, a difficult away game, Palace. I think it's fair to say to anyone in the league, they can be tough at home.
It's a short trip down the road, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? How much of an away game is it really?
No, but I'd like to see again some solid performances from Arsenal. Hopefully, looking a little bit more confident at the back. I am, obviously, really. The only chip on my shoulder was how easy that goal was today. I think the fact it was, if it was a worldie and a good bit of play, you could almost swallow it, but it was a ball straight over the top, and it was criminal, and it's so typical Arsenal. So I want to see that ironed out in the up and coming games, start to look a little bit more solid. Because if
they've got 8 days to work on it, haven't they?
Yeah, but if we're going to win a trophy this season, some major honours, then we can't be leaking goals like that, not at all.
No.
Or even looking nervous like that when we, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. That has to die. But yeah, obviously we'll do some more comments following the Crystal Palace game. But thanks everybody for tuning in. If you are still listening, please remember to hit the like and subscribe. We're working our way to 1,000 subscribers. And the quicker we can get there, the better it will be. Once we hit the 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway for an Arsenal Legends jersey, a signed Legends jersey that we obtained when we went on the stadium tour. So we'll be giving away a little bit more information about that as and when the giveaway comes live. But again, thanks for your time, George, and we'll catch you guys next time.